Welcome back to the Pierce Dispatch. Excited to have Steven Johnson from Suffolk here. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, well, we appreciate you being here. Can you tell me a little bit about what you're doing here in Appleton this week?
Yes, sir. So we're here doing a final for a tanker pumper that we ordered a couple years ago. So we're excited. We've already done a few things with the truck, looking over it, and everything looks great.
Well, that's awesome. Have you been to Pierce before?
Yes, sir. I've been coming here since 2010. Our late retired Mark Outlaw chose me years ago to be on the committee, and I've been coming up here ever since then.
Oh, that's awesome. Mark's an outstanding guy. I actually went out for his service here a couple months ago, and just a tremendous impact that he had on Pierce as well as really the industry.
Yes, sir. I had a lot of respect for him. My father actually worked in Suffolk Fire and Rescue as well. And so they had a relationship working together. And one day when I decided to become a fireman, he picked me up right after I took the test. So
Yeah.
I had a lot of respect for him.
Wasn't there like some legend that he used to like hide a Green Bay Packer logo or something on
Yes,
trucks?
sir. Yep. And we did a ladder 5 or mid mount last month, and we noticed that wasn't in there. So I kind of picked up on by myself. So we got those replaced because that's just
Oh, no kidding.
yeah. So that's kind of like a little jab, that we still carry on with his tradition of being a Packer fan.
Well, that's crazy. Well, can you tell me a little bit about Suffolk Fire Department? Just about what the kind of coverage it is?
Sure. So Suffolk Fire Department's located in the southeastern portion of Virginia. Years ago, in the late 1800s, it was a volunteer agency, which later on, maybe in the early 1900s, had their first paid crew of 6 people. Today, we sit at about 345 personnel, so we've grown considerably over the years. We have 10 stations, 11 engines, and Suffolk is 430 square miles, which is by land the largest city in Virginia and the 14th largest city in the country.
Wow.
Yes, sir. Have a population somewhere around 102,000. We have a lot of rural area out there, a lot of farmland right on the edge of the Great Dismal Swamp runs through that area. So some of the call volumes that we handle are for fire suppression. We have a hazmat team, technical rescue, farm animal rescue. A lot of times we have a lot of horses that will get stuck in the mud. So our technical groups will go out there and help remove the animal which is stuck in the mud. We have a communications team, regional communications bus that can respond throughout the Commonwealth. We actually took our bus back when the floods in Asheville, North Carolina for an EMAC request. So we're able to go in there and provide communications as far as that.
Man, we think about like 430 square miles. That's huge. And like the diversity that must mean from like how you organize and create your fleets.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we could have a high-rise fire downtown,
sure.
and then outside of that in the rural areas, we could have a large brush fire. And sometimes you can get to those brush fires. So we rely on aerial ops with drones and stuff to help us determine the size of the fire, which way the fire is moving, where it's going, and what structures could be involved, so we can get early notification to the residents to get out.
Well, tell me a little bit about how this Enforcer dry side tanker fits into that mix of your response.
Yep. So this is actually a sister truck. We ordered our Tanker 1, and we kind of just came back and ordered our Tanker 7 that's going to be located in the western part of the city with the side discharge and everything. So this truck will usually have one person on it. So everything is at the controls of that operator, which makes it easy. So they can just dump and go. But it's going to be a great asset. Back in the day, you'd have to get out, go to the rear of the truck and open up a discharge. With the cameras and the new technology these days, with a push a button, they can set the tank up, dump, and then go and refill to come back to the scene.
Wow. So how much does that like what changes are there on this unit compared to your previous one?
So years ago, I believe the one that we had, the tanker, was about a 2,000-gallon tanker,
Okay.
which was kind of weird because we could only get about 1,800 gallons of that water because it would fall below the discharge level.
Mm.
The benefit of this truck here being 3,000 gallons and the tank capacity size is that when we show up with 3,000 gallons, we can actually dump 3,000 gallons, go refill, so we can give them a maximum amount of water that will give us time to go refill and come back before we actually run out. With the new tank style that they have on this tanker as well.
So it sounds like you guys have been running tankers before. So at this particular station, have they always had a tanker, or is this new to that?
Yes, they have the older style tanker, We actually had the older style tanker that came from our Station 1 that was replaced with the tanker one that we got a few years back.
Okay.
So with the tanker, I mean, we not only use it for suppression, but we use it for blocking. With the drivers and stuff that really aren't paying attention, we have a policy that if there's a vehicle fire or an accident or anything like that, we use that tanker not only for suppression, for water shuttling, but we also use it for blocking to protect our guys while they're on scene.
Okay. So what other type of uses will this see in that region, like the specific tanker?
Yep. So other than the fire suppression for water, for the mutual aid for neighboring counties or cities, and for the blocking itself, the primary uses for that.
So tell me about the specking process. So you said you've been coming here for the last 15 years.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about how your department goes about specking an apparatus.
So actually years ago, our Chief Rocky, so this was our first tanker that we have done since probably 30 years.
Wow.
And us as a committee, we're kind of looking at the traditional, just another basic tanker. And he came in and says, "Hey, I want a tanker pumper, 3,000 gallons." And we're kind of concerned about that because being on the back roads with the crown of the roads, some of the tight turns into some of the long driveways, that kind of concerned us. Chief Rocky, with his knowledge and experience and everything, was looking down the road further ahead. So something of that size can fit in those areas. Takes a lot of training, but 3,000 gallons is better than two, especially when you have a old farmhouse or a running woods fire or something like that. The benefits of this truck, it fit as far as the specs and everything for the area.
All right. Could you tell me about some of the key features and functionality of this tanker?
I think the number one feature is as I mentioned before, is that we call them par. So if somebody's on a truck and they're par, if they're par 1 or 2, that just expresses how many people is on the truck. So this truck will predominantly be par 1. So like I said earlier, that guy has all the features to his right that he can, they get out, dump the tank, and then go refill, and he doesn't have to get out of the truck if he wants to come back and dump. So the functionality of the truck, with the limited resources that you'll have out and about, it's good for that one driver to be able to do everything from that seat. So that's maybe the best thing, is that one person can operate that truck safely and efficiently.
Sure. Can you tell me a little bit about the decision to go with a custom cab? Because we see a lot of our tankers that'll be on a commercial cab, and we see them through our Florida business in Bradenton. We don't see them that frequently, frankly, in Appleton. Can you tell me a little bit about what led to that decision?
A lot of people would say, "Hey, we need a tanker." So that's exactly what they get. But when you can customize the tanker to fit your city and needs, because everybody has different needs. As we say, we're 430 square miles. With this tanker, we have the opportunity to shuttle water and fight fire with it, provided it has the pump on there. Big storms that come through, we can upstaff the engines and tackle, it could be just like an engine, basically. So that benefits us as to providing another piece of apparatus that can flow water as well, shuttling water, to help with the sea management.
All right. So you've been coming up this way for 15 years now. Can you tell me what kind of advice you would offer to anyone who's maybe looking to procure an apparatus or starting to form a committee?
Yeah. So I guess one of the main things is to determine your needs for your department, for the area. Don't be scared of the size of the unit, because originally, like I said, we were scared that the truck was going to be too big. So maximize your specs as much as you can to fit your area, which makes it easier for scene management, for the citizens, and just it's a way even flow for the scene overall to go.
Yeah, well, that makes sense. I can't tell you how much we appreciate you taking some time away. I know you're going to go pump some water and really run this thing through its paces before it leaves, but it means a lot to both myself, our team, and certainly our listeners for you to take a little bit of time and walk us through your build.
Well, thank you so much for having me.